Hello.
Hey,
How are you, Austin?
I'm doing all right.
Good. We are live.
Are we live? I'm refreshing my YouTube feed just to make sure we're
Yeah.
seeing it. There we go. I see it.
Okay. Sweet, sweet. Lighting looking all right there on my side. Yeah, you think it looks good? All right, sweet.
What's going on, world? How
Second
y'all
second
doing?
opinion, you think it looks good out there in the world? All right. All right. What's going on, world? How y'all doing?
I'm hanging
Five
in there, man.
5 minutes late, 6 minutes late, 10 minutes late, whatever minutes late. Uh do
Our
apologize.
apologies.
I'm gonna say my only excuse is the only ever good excuse in all of human history, and appropriate for a children's movie. Taxes.
Oh wow,
Yes.
I didn't know it was April 14th already.
The most
Oh,
important day to every child in all of human history. Yes.
yeah. All right. Well, my name is Austin,
My name is Josiah.
and we are the Super Cinema Bro. Bros. How's everybody doing out there this
Thinking
evening?
we're back. I hope they're doing fine. I'm gonna say it for them. They're
Yeah.
doing fantastic. Besides that one strange cousin saying odd things like usual. But
I'll take your word for it.
yeah, I speak for all of the internet.
Yeah.
They are fine.
All right, man.
Okay. Unless they say
Hey.
otherwise, I'm gonna assume they're fine. So, positive thoughts about what's going on with you guys out there.
All right.
Anyways, actually I might need to hit my lighting a tiny bit more. It's too dark in
All right.
here. I could say it another way, but yeah.
Hang on.
What was that one?
Bibbidi 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 ba ba ba.
Perfect.
All right.
And if it does need to be adjusted, I will leave it to the good Lord and his magical angels.
All right.
So
Okay.
we're here
On that
today.
note,
Yeah, exactly.
we got a movie to review. What's on the docket tonight, Josiah?
We're talking about, hey, look, very appropriate, greatest of all time. This is not a story about Jesus, unfortunately, but so second goat. That's what the name of this movie is.
Yeah, and if it was Jesus, it wouldn't be a goat. It would be a lamb. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So
hmm I
spotless
I'm,
and
I'm
without
trying to
blemish.
think of the acronym right now in my head, but look, there. It's if you guys figure out what that acronym is. Know what? No, I'm not leaving it up to the internet. We'll tell you what the acronym is once we figure it out. It might be in a language
Lord
beyond our.
Almighty,
hmm
Melchizedek,
hmm
Berean.
There's nothing higher. Just don't even try. All right.
Hmm.
So Goat though, this animated film by Sony Pictures. I'm cool with giving the breakdown of what this movie was. The synopsis from
Okay, go for it.
uh, the
So
AI,
right now,
one of the
ladies and gentlemen,
overlords.
we are in spoiler-free territory. I repeat, we are in spoiler-free territory. And with that, we will provide a synopsis of the film to get you up to speed,
Mhm.
to make sure that you are abreast of the details. And Josiah is going to handle that this evening. So when you're ready, Josiah, take it away.
Here we go. Goat is set in a world of anthropomorphic animals in the city of Vineland, where young goat Will Harris dreams of following in the footsteps of his idol, Black Panther Jet Fillmore, a Ball star for the Vineland Thorns. 10 years later, Will works at a diner, struggling to pay rent while practicing Rollerball in his spare time, as the once great Thorns face their worst season yet without a crucial sixth player to compete on the team. When a viral video of Will's impressive skills catches the attention of team owner Florence Flo Everson, he suddenly is thrust into the professional Rollerball world he's only dreamed about. However, his arrival is met with hostility from Jet herself, who mocks him publicly, setting up a tense dynamic as Will must prove himself worthy of a spot on the team alongside diverse players including Rhinoceros Archie, Giraffe Lenny, Komodo Dragon Moto, and Ostrich Olivia. The film explores themes of perseverance, teamwork, and the tension between individual glory and collective success. As Will navigates the pressures of professional sports and attempts to earn the respect of his teammates, particularly his idol turned skeptic Jet. The story examines what it truly means to be part of a team and whether personal ambition can coexist with loyalty to others. The narrative delves into questions about legacy, the sacrifices required to achieve dreams, and how past wounds and insecurities can drive people to make choices that ultimately isolate them from those who matter most. Through its underdog sports story framework, the film asks whether the true success is measured by trophies and fame or by the connection we forge and the communities we build along the way. Brought to you by Large Language Model number 5. It's definitely showing. It's showing. It's. I don't know. If you look at if you go back and see the synopsis of all of our like last 10 videos, man, the structure is actually super obvious. It's like a paragraph of like breaking down the movie, and then a paragraph of the film
Right.
explores the
That
plot.
that's by design, by the way.
Okay, I
I
I'm
asked for
sure.
a
I'm
two
sure.
paragraph synopsis.
Got it. Got it.
Right.
And then
So
you ask for
yeah,
these
that
specific keywords. You must use explore.
no, actually I
No.
don't.
Yeah.
No keywords.
All right. All right. All right.
Maybe I should. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you should tell it. Get more creative. Stop using the same words and same sentences basically every time. No worries. No worries. It's fine. It is what it is. It works for what we need at the moment. Um, Now.
All right. So let's if you want to do your speed run, I'm not really good at speed runs. You're better at speed runs
No,
than
no,
I
no
am.
worries. Okay, I'll go for it. All right. And guys, I do think of this on the spot. I spent a little time thinking about it, but um, okay. Let me get into it. Here we go. This is my speed run, starting now. Goat by Sony Pictures Animation is the latest in a handful of animated films that they've done over the years that use kind of a choppy frame rate aesthetic. Into the Spider Verse is the one that kicked it off back in like 2017, 2018, and that was a smash success. So, quite a few of the films since, especially the ones they deem are a little bit more hip or meet a more street kind of aesthetic, they seem to be leaning into this type of aesthetic. I don't feel like it's fully necessary for this movie, and quite a bit of the movie was distracting for me, but let me back up a half second. The movie itself is fine. It's very obviously a kids movie. It's not one of those films like most people will reflect on, like Toy Story or something, where it truly feels like the movie is trying to entertain at every age level, age range that goes to see the picture. there aren't necessarily very many, if really any, hidden nods and Easter eggs for adults. Neither jokes. It's not going to do the Animaniacs kind of a thing in any way, shape, or form. But yeah, the film has standard, 3 acts to it. It's an underdog story, as you probably know already. Probably could tell already from the trailers. I did enjoy my time overall, but look, you probably already guessed it. This film is not gonna break any writing walls. Hopefully for Sony, it breaks some financial walls, I guess. But to be honest, even though it's worth watching for if you're a kid, adults, nah, you don't need to see this movie. You'll only see this movie if you take your kids to it. To be honest, but there's some really cool animation in it. You can tell there's a lot of work that went into the actual creature designs, the worlds, um, the animation itself, the storyboarding, all the different levels of production, both on the art side and on the scheduling side. I'm sure did all that they could, push this as far as they could. It's not Into the Spider Verse. If you're hoping it was that, if you're hoping it was Across the Spider Verse, it was anywhere near as good as those two movies, it's not what you're gonna get. If anything, this is probably more akin to K-pop Demon Hunters, where if its aesthetic, its tone, its characters win you over, maybe it'll be a personal favorite. It's not going to be, I don't think, a smash success as that movie. But anyways, doesn't have to be. This is my speed run. Go. It's fine.
Right. My speed run will be a little bit quicker. Uh, it's an okay movie. It's better than I was expecting. It's better than I thought it would be. Uh, I was prepared to turn this movie into a WNBA roast session. Uh, I was so ready. Uh, but yeah, it ended up not being that bad. I was ready to go there. I was ready to go there. But the movie was better than I thought it was going to be, despite how generic and, as you said, 3 act ish, 3 act ish it is. Like to the letter, to the beat. Boom, boom, boom. So, you know, it's a movie for kids. I'll have more to say about that when we get into the spoilers and just my experience watching the film. Uh, I'll leave that for the spoiler section. But suffice it to say, uh, if they wanted to get more anime uh, enthusiasts, more anime otakus, if they wanted to get that demographic and that crowd, they should have called this movie the Vineland Saga. But that probably would be a little too close to a lawsuit. So, and it's not really anime related at all. But every time they said Vineland, I was like, oh, that's Vinland Saga. Even though it's absolutely not Vinland Saga. It's like it's the furthest thing from Vinland Saga. Go see Vinland. Go watch Vinland Saga. That's an intense watch. I'm not gonna lie. There's some dope scenes in there. There's some fantastic animation. It's a compelling story. It's much better than Goat, but it's in series. It's not a movie. It's not the same thing. All right, but as far as Goat goes, this is what happens when Steph Curry produces his anthropomorphic animated, loosely autobiographical story rise to Rudy style greatness. And that's what this movie is. And it's not much more than that. Uh, if you like a lot of pop culture references because you're a kid, okay, here's a spoiler alert. Here's a non-spoiler. The only buzzword I remember distinctly not hearing was lit. Cooked. Oh
Repeat that one
no.
more time before the word before cook. Sorry,
All right. I was saying, I don't know if my audio cut out or not,
it did for a half
but
second now.
okay. The only buzzword that I did not distinctly remember hearing as I was watching this movie would be the word lit. Every other, oh man, we're cooked. And whatever else they were saying. Yeah, I heard lots of buzzwords. And if you enjoy those buzzwords because you're a kid, then yeah, you'll probably enjoy this movie. It's fine. It's not a bad movie. It's fine. It's all right. You said it's fine. I largely agree with that. It's all right. It's better than I thought it was going to be. I'll put it that much. I'll say that much. And that's my speed run.
All right, cool. Thank you, Austin.
All
Welcome
right.
in. Keep it real. How are you doing, man? Um, yes, it is. Oh, so you're thinking of going to see it tomorrow, man?
What's good? Good to see you,
Yeah,
brother. Good to see
yeah,
you, bro. Welcome,
yeah.
welcome, welcome. Hang on, you get a hand clap. All
Yeah.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Good to see you. Okay, so you say, what's up, family? What's up with you, man? Would you recommend this film?
Well,
If you have kids,
let me see. Let me see. Yeah, I see where you're going. Let me interrupt for a half second. What are your favorite animated? What are your like maybe like top two, top three favorite animated films?
are we asking him or are you asking
Yeah.
me?
Ask and keep it real. Ask and keep it real. Like,
Okay.
or
Yeah.
yeah, what's maybe your favorite, and then what's like the bench with the bottom line? Like, I'm willing to go to the movie to see that film before it drops off. I'm curious to see what that range of like animated film interest is for you.
My basic answer is if you have kids, if you're just a real big fan of Steph Curry, and there's a lot of people like that, a lot of kids like that, and check it out.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of 8 miles his life story, anthropomorphically a little
Mm.
bit, kind
Mm-hmm.
of, sort of. Uh, it takes all kinds of liberties. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
as somebody who knows a little bit about Steph Curry's backstory, it's not like there's no real like one-to-one analog or anything like that, but eh, thematically it bears some similarity, a little bit.
Welcome in Genobi 21.
Yo, Shinobi, Shinobi.
Yeah,
Welcome.
yeah. All right, so
All
yeah,
right.
back to what you're saying.
So he's like he's not a big fan of animated movies. If that's the case, my personal recommendation would be to wait till this shows up on streaming and check it out then. This movie isn't so great that you need to go to the movie theater to see it, especially if you're not particularly into animated films to begin with. That's what I would
Okay.
say.
All right, that said, that I do agree with that also. Genobi does say like if you have the movie pass, go check it out. And keep it real, you're saying that you're an AMC investor, you see 4 free movies a week. How
Oh
long was this
man,
film? I mean, that's great. Yeah, I mean, if you're seeing movies
it's
like
less than
that,
2 hours. It's probably right around the 90-minute mark, maybe just a little bit
yeah,
longer. I don't remember exactly.
yeah. If you're typically seeing four movies a week, I think you could fit that into one of the four.
Yeah, especially
Yeah,
right now. There's not a whole lot of movies out right now. I mean, there's some like independent releases and stuff like that, but there's not a whole lot. It's still early in the year, so if you wanna, fit this one in, go for it.
that's actually very true. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. All right. So it's only an hour and a half. Yeah. So I mean,
Was it
it hits
only
the
an hour
nine.
and a half? Oh my gosh! Wow.
Yeah,
I.
it's a kids movie. It's an hour and a half. That's about
No.
as long as they can sit still.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
So Is there anything you want to say before we get into spoilers and start kind of just talking a little bit about
Hmm.
the movie?
Hmm. Let's see. I guess what the last, the most appropriate comparison would be. How'd you feel about this one compared to Zootopia 2?
I like this better than Zootopia 2. Zootopia 2 just did not hold my interest.
Mhm.
This one held my interest enough. I would say
Yeah,
this is better than Zootopia 2. Although I did appreciate and enjoy the frame rate and the lack of choppiness in Zootopia 2. Um,
yeah. Hmm.
Otherwise, as far as the movie narratively, um, this is about on the same level as Zootopia 2. I just happen to enjoy this movie more
Hmm.
than Zootopia 2 specifically.
Okay, yeah. I think I'm pretty close to feeling you on that. Yeah, I feel like both of these two movies have not the greatest pacing overall. Strangely enough, Zootopia 2, even though its pacing wasn't great, like at the very least, there was like one goal in mind that they were like moving towards, which I guess there is
Yeah,
in this film technically too. But then you do get like a lot of like several different sequences like in and off the court, so it feels like you're kind of speeding through time a little bit,
yeah,
which you know,
I would say I would say Zootopia 2 has better pacing. I just enjoyed the subject matter of this movie
yeah,
more. So
hmm,
I can overlook when comparing it to Zootopia 2, I can
yeah,
overlook, uh, the the superior pacing of Zootopia
hmm,
2
hmm,
in favor of just the subject matter.
yeah,
I like basketball, so
fair, yeah,
and
hmm,
I grew up I remember going to theaters for my birthday and watching Space Jam, and we'll get
now
into that.
that was actually one thing that I did want to bring
The
into. You want to
Michael
wait? You want
excuse
to
me,
wait for
excuse me.
spoilers?
Pardon me. The Michael Jordan, the actual real Space Jam.
Yeah.
Like I've only ever heard of the LeBron James Space Jam. God knows I didn't
Oh
watch
shoot,
that movie.
yeah. I actually just blanked on that even existing. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, okay, very fair. Yeah, so and yeah, I guess before we go into spoilers, do you think basketball fans should check this movie out?
If they have kids and the kids want to go
Okay.
watch a movie,
Yeah. 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 Mm-hmm.
otherwise just it's not a go to the movie. It's
Mm-hmm.
wait till it shows up on
Yeah.
Netflix or whatever streaming site it's going to be
Mm-hmm.
on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I was a little bit young in the '90s when watching Space Jam. So I definitely had the child colored glasses and currently have like rose colored glasses on top of them. In for my opinion of Space Jam. I don't think it was as good as Space Jam was. But that said, I think yeah, it's for even beyond that. Space Jam I felt like was like pushing technology in a couple different ways in its execution and in how in like both filming and you know and the end product. This movie doesn't do that. I think in any way, shape, or form. So it doesn't have that kind of like element of luster
Yeah.
or interest to it.
This
Um,
movie is riding on the coattails of the Spider-Verse.
yeah, and then the other thing that
And
that's this Space Jam had was obviously MJ himself. This movie doesn't have that star power from Steph Curry in the same way, any way, shape, or form. He doesn't even voice anything. Maybe he does voice something, and it's just kind of like throwaway. But yeah, um,
yeah, so the original Space Jam, you could think of it as a mild refresh and slight advancement on the technology that brought us Who Framed Roger Rabbit in the 80s at the peak pitch, fever pitch of Michael Jordan mania. That's basically what Space Jam is.
mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, Michael Jordan was playing Michael Jordan. You know, it was kind of meta in that regard.
Hmm.
So
I can appreciate that they didn't try to do the same thing, a la like Space Jam 2. But I feel like there was a way to bring more of like Steph Curry into this film. So I'm actually fascinated to hear the 8 Mileification that you were talking about in our
yeah.
spoiler section.
All right. So is there
Which
anything
let's
else?
go to it. Let's go
Yeah.
to the
Okay. So,
spoilers.
ladies and gentlemen, we are now entering into spoiler territory. If you have not seen the movie, go check it out. Come back, join us. Let us know what you think in the comment section. Um, if you have seen the movie, we would love to have you join us in the live chat to share your thoughts and your views and your opinions.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah. Also, well, yes, that's pretty much what I wanted to say. So at
Yeah.
this point, we are entering into spoiler territory. Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! We are now into spoiler territory right now. All right. So now that we are in spoiler territory, you have been warned. Here we go.
Hmm.
All right. So in saying everything that I just said, there are actually some things that I find endearing about the movie.
Yeah.
This
Hmm.
movie is to basketball what Mario Strikers was to soccer, or Mario Tennis is to tennis, or
Hmm.
Mario Kart is to derby racing.
Hmm.
And I say that largely in a good way.
Okay. All right.
Um, there's a little bit of like the not quite Mario Party, but like the ones that I mentioned, the Mario games I just mentioned,
Yeah. The
plus
Mario sports titles, basically.
yeah, different
Plus or
racetracks,
minus
different
Sonic and
worlds,
Mario at the
different
Olympics.
environments. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, if you really wanted to stretch it, you might tease out a slight like Final Fantasy Tactics aesthetic to this.
Hmm.
That's a real stretch, but you could almost kind of sort of, especially on some of these terrains they were playing on.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm. Hmm.
if the people that had made this movie had even heard of the game Final Fantasy Tactics, then maybe they would have incorporated it. I'm guessing they haven't. Um,
You know,
I mean, I could be wrong.
I'd hope a few of them over at Sony would. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe one of them grew up with a Game Boy Advance and played that game. I almost
Oh,
did.
oh my gosh. You almost played
Um,
it?
yeah, I almost bought it, and then like it was a little too, 4D chess for me in terms of like
It
what I wanted
was
to play.
it was excellent. It was excellent. Shout out to Sony. They not Sony, Square Enix. They wound up putting out I
Yeah,
think last
no,
like September or November they brought Final Fantasy Tactics like
yeah.
an HD version or something out.
In fairness to myself, I did play Advance Wars.
Hmm. Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, I'll check out this kind of strategy based map game. Let's see what that's all about.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed it for what it was, and then it got
Mm-hmm.
way too difficult, and I gave up because I wasn't really about that life. I blew through the easy levels, and then it got really difficult, and you really had to like. I was in college. I'm like, this is just before I gave you my. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, little history lesson. Did I give you my Yu-Gi-Oh cards as
A
well,
super
or did I give that?
no man, dude, that'd have been cool, man. That'd have been
Yeah,
so
yeah. No,
cool. It's all right. Whoever you gave it
I
to,
gave them somebody
bless them.
else. Yes, but I did. I ended up. Yeah, I bequeathing, gifting my Game Boy Advance and my Pokemon games uh, for the Game Boy Advance to Josiah at one point during my time in college. This was a very, very long time ago. So,
At least the
but
games. I
before,
don't think you gave me the advance, but
oh, yeah,
the
maybe,
Pokemon games. Yeah,
yeah,
he wound up giving me. Yeah, you wound up getting. Well, you gave me Ruby and Sapphire for sure,
yeah.
and a couple others, which you know I appreciate that, man.
I think Ninja Guy. I think I gave you Ninja Gaiden or something, which is actually a super dope Nintendo Advance game. The Mega Man game with the tile base. That's a super
Battle
dope game.
Network. Mhm.
Yeah, the Battle Network. Listen, I ended up going down the deep dive. There's an entire community online that has like modded that game and like
Mhm.
hacked it and
Mhm.
modded it, and they have like their own versions you can down. Bro, it is a wild world, and I'm
Oh yeah.
100% here for it.
Mhm.
Okay,
Mhm.
uh, so this movie bears the scantest, kind of passing indirect by proxy, just in terms of like, characters are placed on the map, the court. It's not even really a
Mhm.
court.
Mhm.
You know, it's its own ecosphere, there's an ecosystem, and they all play by certain rules. It's almost like this feels like a Mario game kind of way
Mhm.
of
Mhm.
basketball. There's the fire level, the lava level, there's the ice level, there's the jungle level, there's the stalactite level where things are dropping down.
Mhm. Mhm.
And, like largely, I think if I was a bigger fan of the overall aesthetic of the movie, I probably would have
Mhm.
enjoyed this more. But that's not to say that it wasn't enjoyable.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
um,
Man,
so
talking
yeah, that part was cool.
yeah, I think the environments honestly stood out way more than the characters for me. Like the
Yeah,
people that put the work into those environments, man, like y'all like overshone the actual characters. So like
yeah, you guys overshot the
yeah.
plot.
There was some cool, there was some good characters too though, but the environments I think were better.
Yeah. So there's that. When I say the 8 Mileification of it,
Hmm.
8 Mile is not like it is not. It is only like in some regards passingly biographical to Eminem, to Marshall Mathers.
Okay.
It's not, it's not based on a true story kind of thing. His life and the life of B Rabbit in that movie, huge differences in terms of, the life he actually lived versus
Hmm.
what's portrayed on 8 Mile. But
Hmm.
there are some similarities. He did grow up in a
Yeah.
trailer park, so on and so. He can rap, He
Hmm.
did come up in the Detroit underground, you know, battle rap scene. These things are
Hmm.
all true.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay.
So much so, if you watch like the behind the scenes footage, if you get the DVD or the Blu-ray of 8 Mile and you watch the behind the scene footage where he's actually doing battle rapping for the movie. So he's like rapping to the track that's already pre-recorded for the sake of the movie. And then, they had a bunch of compilation montage footage of him battling other rappers that they didn't use for the movie, but they had, they were filming it. And then some of those guys started taking shots at Eminem. So then Eminem, like, he immediately he ripped these people in half. And so, like, he shout out to him, like,
Okay.
he was really about that, like, but
That sounds like a fun
battle rap.
filming environment that he set up there. Hmm.
Right. And like, yeah, he lost some pretty high profile battles. But yeah, he's still dope, and the rest is history. Okay, so in this sense, even further removed, because now we're dealing with the anthropomorphic animals.
Yeah.
Uh, it's kind of Steph Curry's kind of sort of story. Not really, but just a few
Mm.
little things that are kind of similar.
Okay. Well, let
So
me ask: did he was he raised by a single mom? Did he wind up losing
I
his
don't
mom before he
know.
got into the game?
I'm not sure. He might have
Hmm.
been.
Hmm.
It was more so his story was like he was always like the underdog, and people were counting him out because he wasn't as big and as tall,
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
he wasn't LeBron James, who came into the game at age 17 as a
Hmm.
physical specimen.
Hmm. Hmm.
I remember when he won the slam dunk contest, and basically he had a bunch of like 6 foot tall people and like a big huddle under the basket, and he like just jumps over all of them and like tomahawk dunks it or something like that.
Hmm.
And so he kind of came in ordained and christened, with that first Nike commercial, King James, like that was his. It's like the opposite of Steph Curry. Steph Curry really had to like prove himself, and so um, he didn't
I,
have
I
the
I mildly remember that. Uh,
yeah. So
Very mildly. I mean, it's. I mean, for me, it seemed like pretty quickly once he was sinking like almost every three he was taking. then it,
Yeah.
his story was written as, oh no, this guy is really good. He's playing the game the way that works for him.
Yeah. Yeah, because
Hmm.
he's not gonna play a physical game against like LeBron James. Like LeBron James is a physical specimen. Like if you if you were a mad scientist making the perfect basketball player with all the best stats in every area, like it would be LeBron James. Like
Yeah,
in
yeah,
terms of just physical prowess
yeah,
and overall skill in the game. He's
yeah, yeah,
I'm not a big LeBron fan, but I recognize
yeah,
that
yeah,
LeBron
yeah.
who he is.
So do you think
And
I
just no
jokingly
shades
was
of
called?
LeBron.
No, no, no shade, no shade. But within this movie, do you think I jokingly called him Ultraman? I know his name's not Ultraman, but like
Oh, the horse?
the main antagonist. Do you think that's supposed to be LeBron James, basically?
I don't think so.
No.
Because I don't think there's like a real beef between Steph Curry and LeBron.
Yeah,
Not, I
yeah,
don't follow NBA close enough, so maybe I'm
yeah,
wrong.
yeah, yeah.
Correct me in the comments section in the chat.
Hmm.
But I
Hmm.
don't think there's that kind of beef between them.
Hmm. Probably not, but yeah.
I mean, sure they play against each other and whatever.
Hmm.
Sometimes they win, sometimes they lose, that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah.
They've both won their fair amount of championships,
Hmm.
respectively. Uh,
Hmm.
they have wildly different skill sets. They play the game very, very differently.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
so yeah, I mean
And that's
maybe,
only
but
in the slightest, by you pointing out the LeBron James is like, yeah, physical specimen, same with the who I call Ultraman, he's
yeah,
well, I guess technically he's not the biggest creature out there, but he's a pretty big dominating creature in the film.
right. So yeah, um, that wasn't apparent to me, but it might be true,
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
he
yeah.
might have just been, because like I don't know, LeBron James doesn't have the same kind of personality that this horse character has,
Hmm. Hmm.
which leads me to believe that maybe he's just a generic like
Yeah.
antagonist,
Yeah.
and
Probably
so
more so that
yeah,
than anything. Hmm. All right.
yeah. So
Well, yeah.
yeah,
What are some things that stood out that you actually really enjoyed about this movie, or you thought it was nice that they took in consideration and executed it in a fun way or interesting way?
there are some little details like some like the shoe details,
Hmm.
you know, sneaker details. When what's her name, the Puma, the
Jet.
Jet, yeah. When she goes to the diner and they give her her original shoes, it's like I've been looking all over for these. Just win us a championship. Touches like that were cool.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the way it touches on like aspects of sports fandom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's cool.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Bandwagon fans versus like true
Yeah.
believers,
Mm-hmm.
diehard
Go
fans,
into
that
the
kind of
sneaker
thing.
shop. Yeah.
That too, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so the whole shooting contest, that whole shooting contest was based on a commercial between Michael Jordan and Larry Bird, I believe. You know, off the backboard, 3 bounces, nothing but net. Everybody just look up Michael Jordan, nothing but net. I think it's him and Larry Bird.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's a whole commercial. I forget what the commercial was for. I think it was a McDonald's commercial. And so that is an homage to that commercial, which was wildly popular when I was a kid. Again, this was during Michael Jordan mania. He was like, he was the greatest to ever do it. He was, all that stuff. And this was at the peak of his like professional basketball prowess. And this commercial it was super funny at the time. It was super creative and just watching two people, shooting hoops and stuff in a way that's like ridiculous, but at the same time kind of believable because if any two people could ever pull this off, it would
Mm-hmm.
be these two people. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't expect little kids to have any concept of that. But as somebody who grew up in the 80s and the 90s, I knew exactly what that was when I saw it. So I was like, oh, okay, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Bro, such a giant missed opportunity to turn things on its head and have like the final act be a game of horse against this horse antagonist. Like There's so many
Yeah.
jokes they left out on the floor. There's such a like fun, interesting kind of execution that they could have been like interrupting the normal game to like, nah, we playing this game of
Okay.
horse. You be bragging this whole time. All right, keep it real, yes.
So hang on,
So
keep it real. Hang
LeBron
on.
and Curry are actually friends. That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. McDonald's, nothing
Oh, it was Magic in Larry
but
Bird. Yes,
net.
yes.
Hang on,
Okay.
hang on. McDonald's, nothing but net commercial. Let me see. No, because I'm pretty sure it was Jordan. Yeah, it was Jordan and Bird. Yeah, I was right. I just looked it up. Yeah, it's
Maybe
Michael
they maybe
Jordan and Larry Bird.
yeah, maybe Magic did a different version later.
Uh, you just type in Magic Johnson. The iconic 1993 McDonald's Nothing But Net commercial, officially titled The Showdown, aired during Super Bowl 27, featuring Michael Jordan and Larry Bird. Magic Johnson is not in this specific 1993 1-minute commercial. The ad popularized the phrase nothing but net as they performed increasingly absurd shots to win a Big Mac. Yeah, so just look up McDonald's The Showdown commercial. It's Michael Jordan and Larry Bird. Yeah.
Mm.
It's a phenomenal time capsule kind of commercial. I remember it quite fondly. As I remember many things in 1993 quite fondly,
Mhm.
namely chief among them Saturday morning cartoons and
Mhm.
Jurassic Park. But
Oh yeah, it was hitting, man.
oh
Keep it
yeah,
real is saying
1993
Magic.
was a year to be alive.
I
I'm
was
serious.
alive. I was alive. Yes.
Yeah,
Oh
and
yeah.
and yes, Magic and Bird used to do Converse commercials back in the early '80s, way back in the day. They did. You're
Mhm.
absolutely
Mhm.
correct. Yeah.
I think
So
I learned that in the what was the
Air
Nike the Air movie with
with Matt Damon and
the two best friends. Mm-hmm.
yeah, with Matt Damon
Ben
and
Affleck.
Ben Affleck playing Phil Knight. Yeah. That's
Mm-hmm.
a fantastic movie, by the way. Go see that movie.
It
You
was
haven't seen
good.
it? That is fan. That's a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so yeah, there's certain homage. That was one homage in particular. So that tells me that the people that made these movies, or at least the showrunners, the directors, showrunner for this movie, the executive producers, were people right around my age, because we remember that fondly from our childhood.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, Otherwise, it's just kind of your regular street ball kind of movie. We grew up watching, what's the movie with Wesley Snipes
What was
and
that?
Woody
White Man Can't
Harrelson?
Jump.
Yeah, White
Or
Man Can't Jump. There's a
mm-hmm.
there's like, they're playing on the court. That's not
Sorry, you're gonna have to
movie.
repeat the last like 10 seconds.
Okay. I was saying that I don't think it's a direct reference to White Men Can't Jump.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure that the people that made this movie, that, directors, executive producers, script writers, are probably people closer to my age, and they remember watching that movie. Whether any particular scene is directly influenced or inspired by that film or not, it was a big basketball movie that came out in the early '90s that we all kind of remember.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so
Yeah,
I mean, I kind of.
kids. Woody Harrelson's been doing movies that long. Yes.
Oh yeah,
Surprising.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He wasn't just in Hunger Games.
No.
You
Mm-mm.
weirdos. Sorry, we love you. Um, uh, Listen, you know what? Listen, the internet and social media like makes the world and information so widely available, but I'm convinced that it just makes people know less and less and less. The more information that's available, the less people access the information that is freely available. Anyway, anyway. What else? Stood out to me. Okay, so let me talk about my experience going to the theater and watching this.
All right, let's get into it. Yeah.
All
The
right, all right,
theater going experience mini review from Austin. Here we
all
go.
right.
Yes. Yeah.
So I walk in there, and it's just a bunch of parents with their kids. I'm like, oh boy. Um,
Mhm. Mhm.
I know I'm not, but I feel like I'm in the wrong theater. All right. So because we see okay, so because Josiah and I watch at least one movie every week so that we can do this podcast, you see certain things just over and over and over again, especially if you're an AMC Stubs member. You know, it's the black guy and his girlfriend. They're doing the dancing thing, and then they're doing the race car thing, and then they're about to kiss, but then they drink the Coca-Cola, and then Nicole Kidman. Oh, you know,
What are you
getting
talking
your
about?
heart broken,
Mhm.
getting your heart broken feels good in a place like this. Does it, Nicole? Oh gosh, if I it's just again,
It's
you see
it's
it.
it's it's the greatest line of her segment, man. Heartbreak feels good in a
Oh,
place like this.
all
Uh-huh.
right. Okay, but that's
Look,
not. But
look,
that's just
look. This generation will only know Nicole Kidman from these AMC
oh my gosh.
advertisements.
I remember her from Far and Away. Her when she was still married
Mm,
to Tom Cruise and they made that movie together. That's a
mm,
fantastic movie, by the way. I recommend going to
yeah,
see that.
yeah.
About like the early American frontier and all
Mm,
kinds of stuff. It's a great
hmm
movie.
hmm
Um,
my first introduction, I think, was her in Batman Forever.
yeah,
Hmm
yeah, she was a cutie pie in that movie. I remember that. That was 1997. Yeah, I remember
hmm
that. So oh yeah, so yeah, so I almost walked out during the trailers. There was it Nick Offerman? He's in like this Blowfish movie. It was just
Maybe,
the most
maybe.
generic, like not quite SpongeBob
Oh,
AI slop feeling kind of movie.
uh
Shout out to
oh.
Nick Offerman. I got nothing against him personally. It's just
He's
like
cool.
these movies, these movies are not made for me. This is a bunch of like animated movies that I don't care about because I'm not a kid. So I was just getting more anxious and uneasy. It's just, oh my gosh, I can't watch another one of these trailers for a movie I am not going to watch. That one Pixar movie where the guy, you know, puts his consciousness into a gopher or whatever.
Hoppers coming out next month.
Yeah, yeah. You might
You're
have to do a
trying to
solo review on that one.
solo review. I was about to ask.
Y- You might finna have to like watch that by yourself. But that's not even the worst one.
Hmm.
Like that movie looks like it could have its creativity and its charm in ways.
Mhm,
I'm just
mhm,
not interested. I'm not interested in like 3D animated kids movies.
mhm.
So that's just whatever.
That's fine.
Um the the worst movie by a country mile was not even a 3D, it was a live action movie. Um with a comedian that I don't know, but he's married to Mandy Moore and he has to
Hmm.
take care of the house and the kids while she's out working. Oh,
Hmm.
doing
Hmm.
laundry is hard. Oh god.
Is
Oh,
that
he
is
keeps
that really
blowing.
what he said? Is that really what he said?
Oh, basically, bro. It is so. I was so miserable watching this god awful. Oh, we can't do laundry, so let's just buy new underwear. In 2 weeks, we'll come back and buy some more because I can't figure out how to use a washing machine. Zorgy dork, wonky wonk, you know. Oh, he keeps slipping and falling down the stairs. Oh no, he kicked the whole wall. Uh-oh. Oh no, everything keeps breaking in the house. Oh God, I was like, oh dear Lord, please send your dark angel of death, the Grim Reaper herself, to come and pick me up. I'm ready to go home. Please.
Mhm. Mhm.
Oh, I can't watch any more of this crap. Um, First of all, like I remember Mandy Moore when she was like a teenager. I remember in high school, right? I
Hmm.
remember this is not fair. This is so wrong.
Wait, what are
People
we about to get? Oh no.
listen, people get older. People get older. And they age and they don't look the same.
It's
It's
all of
not,
us, man. It's all of us. It's all of us. Look. It always goes this way. Remember last
uh,
week I was talking.
we were talking about Gwyneth
Helen Mirren.
Paltrow. Oh, Helen Mirren. Yeah, I know. Oh man, it's just like more than it has nothing to do with Mandy Moore. Shout out to Mandy Moore. I have nothing bad to say about Mandy Moore. Um, it just reminded me of oh, that's so messed up. Oh no. I tried to say no, like it just reminded me of how old I'm getting. I was like, oh, that's not any better. I don't want to say that. That's not nice. Oh, why are you in this god awful movie? Oh, don't worry. I'll stay home. I'll take care of the kids. Are you sure? It's harder than it looks. Oh, I'll figure it. Oh, God, I want to die. Oh, my soul almost dying, bro. Like, oh,
Oh my
you've seen
gosh.
this movie before. This isn't even this doesn't even have the charm or the personality of Mr. Dad from the 80s. You
Mm-mm,
know,
mm-mm.
that was Michael Keaton pre-Batman. This is just absolute schlock, and I hate it. And I hate that it exists. And like I'm at the age now where we're just remaking the same movie.
Mhm, mhm,
And
mhm.
um, oh no, did you find the right guy to fix the house? I gave you a list. Oh, I picked that guy just because he was the cheapest. Did you pick a good one? Ah, and he's hanging from the roof. Oh, go. Come on, Will Fort. Like you're better than this.
Oh, no, no.
Don't debase yourself being in. Oh, come on, bro. Make another MacGruber. Like, please go back to making MacGruber, bro. Like, if this is what you do on your off time, oh,
Oh, Will Forte. Okay, okay. Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
come on, bro. You need to link up with Tim and Eric and do some goofball stuff again. Like, come on, bro. You're killing me right now.
Mhm.
Oh, but I have to remember,
Look,
there's a
man,
whole
they
generation
gotta
of
get it. They
people.
gotta get a paycheck, brother. That's
No,
the.
there's a whole generation of people that haven't seen these crap
It's
movies.
true. This is true. Yeah.
Like, listen, they made these crap movies in the 90s. They made these
Hmm.
crap movies. I mean, oh god, even like it hurts my heart to say, but even Ice Cube, Are We There Yet
Oof.
movie. Oh,
Yeah.
Daddy
Hmm.
Daycare, Eddie Murphy. Oh man. It's like they just keep making these like men are dumb, like women. Whoever's watching, do you know any guy in your life, in your actual lived experience, that's that incompetent and dumb and incapable? Like do you actually know? Is this going to be? Are you going to find this amusing or funny at all? Like
Austin,
your
we
dad
can't
was
we can't we can't be asking the internet like that. You know, like it's.
Your dad was not that stupid and incompetent. Neither were your uncles, neither were your brothers.
Hmm.
You know,
Hmm.
even the dumb ones, they weren't that dumb. Come
Hmm.
on.
Hmm.
Like, you know, um, tell me feminism brain rot has infected Hollywood without telling me feminism brain rot has infected. But I don't even think it's feminism brain rot. Honestly, I just think like they just ran out of ideas for movies. So we're just gonna remake this stupid movie for the
Hmm.
umpteenth
Hmm.
time. Oh, it's so stupid. I hate it so much.
Yeah, in a way,
Oh
the
my god.
worst thing that it's doing is it's like playing on a trope that is just long, long, long
Oh.
dead and gone. Yeah,
But
I mean,
what I'm saying is
you know,
I almost walked out of the theater and didn't see this movie, bro. That's
I'm
what I'm
sorry,
saying. Like
man.
I almost bounced like this yeah. So it was that is
Brother,
like when they first and
that's why I enter right before the movie starts most of the time. I don't
you know what
want to see all
I
these
thought about
trailers.
you oh he was right, bro. Like my soul was dying, bro. Like I was in a bad place.
Hmm.
Oh my gosh.
I can almost
Um
guarantee if you, unless like you said last week, it's an anime movie, you could enter like 20
Oh,
minutes
oh,
after the
oh,
start.
no, 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 no.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Hmm.
They had a trailer for an anime movie. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then it was just a movie for like that time I got reincarnated as that time I got reincarnated as a slime. Bro, I'm not watching that movie. I didn't even bother watching I don't like isekai. It's not my genre of choice. You know, that time I got
On top
reincarnated.
of you're not a fan of the light novel adaptations.
That time I got reincarnated as the sexiest sword master in all the land. Like, oh, good, bro, I'm done, bro. Oh man,
I mean,
I can't watch any
this
of
is
Star
this
Wars.
sadly another proof of we're getting older. Like the things that are popular for, you know, anime generation is different from our generation. Mhm.
I mean, no, there's an entire genres apart. Like isekai is its own genre within
Thankfully,
anime,
thankfully, yeah, 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 yeah.
and I just can't get into it. You know, it's
Mhm,
just
mhm.
like wish fulfillment. It's just like loser weeb wish fulfillment, and I just can't like watch 14 episodes of that crap.
Mm,
Ugh,
mm,
no, I
mm,
can't.
mm.
Okay, so that was the trailer experience, and then you got a bunch of kids coughing and making noise, and people getting up and like, you know, oh man, there was a black family that came in. I felt, oh, thank God, I'm not here by myself. Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
God bless the
Mhm,
children, you know.
mhm, mhm.
And I was like, okay, all right, well, let's get this movie over with. And so, like, when I say the movie is better than I thought it was, it's like the movie. It's like keep in mind, like that was the trailer experience, you
Mm,
know,
mm.
like it didn't have a huge hurdle to clear, is what I'm saying. But having
Got it,
said that,
got it.
it's fine. It's fine. It's
Mhm,
cool. The movie was
mhm.
the movie was fine.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, man, that trailer experience was rough. I mean, I don't know how many times you can watch that Chevrolet commercial. Oh man.
Mhm,
All right, but
mhm.
yeah, go
Not
go
too many
my
more
dream.
times. Yeah, yeah, things that I liked about the movie. So, I like the film in its moments when animation wise, it takes advantage of like this actually being an animal world. It doesn't completely relegate the animals to being like 100% anthropomorphic. They don't do anything outside of what a human would do. So like during basketball, it's actually cool seeing Jet like kind of like move around in her panther form. Panther do like
Yeah,
panther movement, incorporated
I
within
actually
the
like that too.
basketball. And I could have actually had a lot more of that, to be honest myself. I think
Yeah,
that
the
was
ostrich
super
girl,
dope. Hmm.
she totally reminded me of the ostrich from Donkey Kong Country. So I'll put that in the
Mm.
plus category
Yeah,
because I
yeah, I
love
know,
that game.
right?
That game's amazing.
Dude, everyone
Donkey
should
Kong
love that
Country for
game.
the Super Nintendo. Bro, okay, since we're going down a nostalgia road,
Yes, go ahead, go
bro,
ahead.
I got a I got a VHS in the mail from Nintendo of America. And it was the whole thing was just a trailer and a promo and infomercial for Donkey Kong Country with the poly rendered 3D graphics, which was like mind blowing at the time in the early
Mm-hmm.
90s.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it was
At the very
incredible.
end,
It was
oh,
it was it was so incredible. It was like, what the heck? This game looks
yeah,
amazing. And then you're playing, you're like, I'm playing with graphics these good? Like what?
yeah, like just when you thought it couldn't get any better than Mega Man X. Oh, oh
Mm-hmm.
gosh,
Bam.
oh gosh, Mega Man X. Talk about a classic. Oh
Mm-hmm.
gosh. Oh man. I'm telling you, bro, the 90s was a time to be alive, bro.
Definitely,
That
man.
Super Nintendo controller, Mega Man X. Come on, stop, stop, stop. You guys don't know what life is.
Sonic
Y'all,
games
y'all,
were
y'all don't know
hitting.
about y'all can't tell
Yep.
me about life.
Yeah.
So just when I think it couldn't get better than that, I get
Mm-hmm.
for some freaking reason. I don't even know. I don't know if my mom sent in for it. Well, I don't know. Whatever.
Probably, probably.
I think at one point we did have a subscription to the Nintendo Power
Yeah.
magazine. You guys, you don't understand what life was.
It
Oh
was really
man.
special, man. Yeah.
Woo. Okay, so maybe they just had our home address or something. So we got this
Hmm.
thing, and at the end of this like little 15-minute infomercial for Donkey Kong Country, it was like, oh no, stolen footage. You're not supposed to see this. It was like for Primal Instinct because it was made by the same developer, Rare.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean between Donkey Kong Country and Star Fox, the original Star Fox, bro.
And guys, this was before 64 hit. Like 64 took some things to another level that like, but then yeah,
For sure,
SNES.
for sure.
But this generation was incredibly special. Like they learned from
Oh,
the NES, and then the Super NES just like they were
and
really challenging themselves creatively.
and this and then and then you find out that the Super Nintendo Japanese cartridges look just like the N64 cartridge. Bam, man, forget about it. Who am I talking? Y'all ain't ready for this. We're not ready to have that conversation.
Yeah.
Bro,
No,
I bought
no.
a Dragon Ball Z Super Nintendo game only to realize that I couldn't play it because, because
Oh.
the size of the cartridge didn't fit the American
Oh
SNES.
no. Oh
The Super
no.
Famicom and the SNES were modeled completely differently.
They were.
I would have had to solder off the plastic on the sides just to get the cartridge. And I was what, 11 years old. I wasn't going to do any of that, right?
Mm-mm.
I certainly
Mm-mm.
wasn't going to pay anybody to do all that.
Yeah. Yeah. So you never got to
Man,
play
what a
that
time to
game,
be
or
alive.
did you go to a friend's place that?
No, no, it was the Super
Oh.
Nintendo Dragon Ball Z game with Goten, Trunks, and Boo, Majin Buu on the label of it.
Oh, that had
Yeah,
Boo. That had Majin Buu. Oh my gosh,
I
that would
bought
have
it at
felt like living in the future for sure. Because at that time we
bro.
probably had Frieza Saga airing or something, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh
I just
man.
I didn't, bro. I didn't even know who these characters were, bro. Bro, I was so
Mm-hmm.
excited just to have it, and then
Yeah.
just to find out that I couldn't even play it. Oh, it was so.
Oh,
I had to take it
heartbreaking.
back.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
and I didn't even want to take it back. I just wanted to keep it. Like, hey, maybe one day, blah blah. This was before the internet. This was before ROMs and mods. Like this was Pokemon
Man,
Red and Blue on the
bro.
Nintendo Game Boy Color. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that game wasn't even in color. Man, whatever, bro. Y'all don't know about my life. I don't know what
You
these
know,
things
we
are.
actually still are still waiting on a few advancements in that area where we're having like release dates of things happen at the same time. I just learned a detail. I know this is a complete tangent from what we're talking about with Goat, but doesn't matter. This is more important. Godzilla minus 0.0 is coming out this year. This year, the best movie of a couple years ago, Godzilla minus one.
We eating, bro.
Same
We eating.
director. We are eating so well. Same director coming out this year, November 6th. This is the first time that they'll be releasing the movie virtually simultaneously, Japan and in America, maybe even the rest of the world. I think Japan gets it like technically November 3rd because that's Godzilla Day and they're releasing Godzilla Day. We're getting it on the 6th, just 3 days later.
Yeah.
Man,
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, if we
these
had
are,
more to
yeah.
talk about regarding Goat, we would be talking.
We will, we will. But right now we're
Okay.
reminiscing briefly on like there was just a huge
Yeah.
schism between when we got things in anime and like in even like video
Yeah.
games in the 90s.
This
We had to wait a long time for things to come over to
if you
the our
if you're
system.
trying to trace this conversation back, this all started because I said that the ostrich character on the basketball team looked like the ostrich from Donkey Kong Country, and that's how
Yeah.
we ended up in this whole rabbit trail. All right, so let's go back
All right.
to the
All right.
movie.
So I was talking about the animation. I love it when the film winds up actually exploring like what these creatures' movements, behaviors, or whatever might look like on the basketball field. And I loved it in those scenes where we actually got it. And it was only a few times. I wanted it to happen way more. Like what? Like it would have been so amazing to see the animators just like push themselves to a height and beyond. What would it have been like for Jet to be like running like a panther, but then like doing crossovers and stuff at the same time? Like we could have gotten
They
some
kind of did.
insane.
They could have done more. I
She
mean,
was
I
she
did.
was she was basically dribbling. She actually, yeah, yeah. Like they barely pushed in that
Yeah,
category.
I did. I mean, they did like the whole like eh, the
They
whole
did
like
that.
goat
They did that.
call. I
They
did
had
enjoy Will's Sharingan goat eyes.
Yes, they set up.
Um,
They did set up earlier in the film, with his
yeah,
mom
I
and
see
everything.
everything,
He sees I see everything, mom.
and his
And
eyes go like into like
they go
horizontal rectangle goat
rectangle,
mode.
yeah, yeah, and then they like stretch out or whatever. They're trying to get the
So
memes.
he sees everything in anamorphic.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of
Mm-hmm.
like his Sharingan slash Byakugan
Yes.
basketball
Yeah, yeah,
eyes.
yeah. And then they zoom into the different parts of the diner when they show his ability when he's like a teenager, a young adult. See that, yeah, like wow, he sees everything. So we know what's gonna happen on the court at some point in time.
Yeah,
Um,
I would have liked it if they gone a little bit more into the whole like
yeah.
psych aspect of it. If you guys ever watched the show Psych,
Mm,
where the main character, he's just extraordinarily um really observant because his father trained him to be super super observant, and he can recall things that he
mhm,
saw
mhm,
in passing, you know, and on that basis, he uses that unique skill and ability to pretend to be psychic and getting a job, and working with the Santa Barbara Police Department to help solve crimes under the guise of being a psychic, when in reality, he's just extraordinarily hyper observant. That's the whole premise of the show. And if they kind of taken that premise and kind of applied it to here, even a little bit more, I would have been fine with it. Like what they
yeah,
did was
yeah.
fine, but if they wanted to take it a little bit further, I would have been okay with that too. And if they wanted to go full anime Sharingan, Byakugan, he can see what's
Mhm,
behind him almost kind of
mhm,
thing. Listen,
mhm.
I'd be down for that as well.
Yeah, yeah. As a brief like negative, I'll say it's fine that it didn't take advantage of that, but I think the movie sets up a few different like strengths and like weaknesses for characters that they don't really fully explore or like center the movie around. They could have a lot more, and I think I would have welcomed it even more for it to become like more personal. But anyways, stepping back, yeah. So I mean, yeah, aesthetically, most of the characters look fine, but like I said, the environments were done really well. I mean, there is a way to take the environments to a whole another level. I think we're going to be honest. Some of the environments, like in the like Super Mario movie, technically look better, but I like the the push of creativity. This, as you mentioned, well, I don't know if you mentioned it. This kind of reminded me a little bit of like Pokemon. You were talking about Mario and like the sports Mario games. This kind of felt a little bit like Pokemon, in which when you go to the different trainers, like they have the stadiums themed around electric type, rock type, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So that
Lieutenant
definitely.
Surge, Brock, yeah.
And then even in the actual like gym, there's gimmicks for how you get around based on the typing. So that kind of had that vibe, especially when they're dealing with the uh, you know the ice water, the cold water, and the floating sort of like icicle platforms, and the molten lava and all that stuff, and high heights, low heights. So that's a little bit of the tactics kind of thing that you were talking about.
Ladies and gentlemen, dude, Lieutenant Surge ain't doing nothing to you, bro. Like you're good. Don't worry about it. You got this. I believe in you. Please continue, just
Uh-huh.
please.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
That Pikachu is not like it's gonna land a hit, but it's not effective against rock type. You're good. As long as you're like a level 20, you're Geodude, it doesn't even have to be evolved yet. This is a deep cut, ladies and gentlemen. You're good.
Yeah, you are fine. Yeah, no worries. Okay, other things I like about the movie. So I do like that in a way. Jet almost can feel like the main character. She's not the main character, but in some ways I felt like her story was in like half more compelling, half not as compelling. I appreciate that they represented somebody that was amazing at the craft, but then just couldn't get that championship, time and time again, and is now being lambasted for like this is the prospect, this was the prospect, their time is over, and like she's going through the mental challenges of like no, like I know I could do more, but no one else believes in me, but so I like both like and dislike her struggle. I think they could have, in a lot of ways, pushed it even more, or at least made her interaction with the main character stronger. Look, I don't want to go into negatives, but yeah, I'll just say overall, I think I like that like her story was represented within this, and personally could have dealt with a lot more time with that character, and in a way, for me, kind of overshadows the main character in some regards.
Yeah.
It's
Um.
not. It's not. I'm not saying that she does. I'm saying that she could. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's that like as an older person, I can almost like relate a little bit more to her than to Will. That might be kind of like what I'm
Yeah.
what I'm what I'm
What
pulling
if
from a
LeBron
bit.
never won a championship, kind of thing?
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, that was fine. I didn't really feel too strongly about that one way or the other. Um, I would say, yeah, it's fine. The teammates were
Mhm.
they were okay for the most part. The Rhino with his bad kids, his twin daughters that were wreaking havoc. Again, I'm kind of tired of like the hapless dad trope, hapless father who doesn't discipline his children trope.
Yeah, yeah, that seems to add up from what you were telling us a little bit earlier.
Uh,
Will,
uh,
this will be the last thing I'll say, honestly, that I did like about the movie. I do like Will. I did like Will. I was happy to go in his story,
yeah,
follow his
he was
story,
a likable character.
and I respect that they didn't. I think they treated him a little more mature than like some other films could. Like when he meets Jet, and Jet is very obviously not liking him, not caring about him, wanting to just kind of toss him to the side, disregard him. I appreciate his like tenacity to keep like pushing forward, and he's not just like immediately broken and shattered by like, oh man, Jet's a terrible person. Like, he's treating me horrible. Like I completely hate this person, like the person that I idolized and looked up to has immediately caused me to go into like a downward spiral and a melancholic sort of, you know, pool of emotions the second I find out that they don't want to give me the time and place. Now, he does wind up having I think a more constructive disapproval of her when she winds up just taking over the game, the like second to last game or something like that.
Yeah, I have more to say about that particular scene.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean that is a send up. That's an homage to Rudy, like him not getting playtime, not getting the play. That's Rudy.
Yeah.
If anybody's seen the movie, have you seen Rudy
A long time ago. Long time ago.
with is it Aston Smith? Aston, the guy, Samwise,
Oh,
Samwise
Sean
Gamgee, that
Astin.
guy, Sean Aston. Yeah, it's a
Mm-hmm.
classic movie. It's a classic film.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you got to see it. It's a standard. You got to watch it. It's a
Mm-hmm.
classic.
Indeed. Yeah.
Uh, it's the classic. It is like the quintessential classic underdog movie.
Yeah.
And so, yes, that is clearly referenced in this movie.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's not that he
Uh,
doesn't get playtime. I'm more just talking about. I'm glad he's not just completely disillusioned the second he finds out that Jet's not who
oh
he
yeah,
imagined her to be. I think that he without saying, he could probably see and understand like the struggle that she went through and like why she might be treating him the way that she does. So he's not
yeah.
like completely.
What does that remind me of? Like we've seen this before. Like my idol, my hero, and then you find out that I mean, okay, The Incredibles. Okay, but yeah, you've seen that. This is a very very common trope. Where it's
It
like,
is.
oh, this one.
Yeah.
I can't. I just there's it's happened in so many movies. I can't like in my brain can't narrow it down to the one thing that it really
Yeah.
reminds me of. But you've seen it a bajillion
Yeah,
times.
definitely. And I think oftentimes, like half the time, the character when they find out their hero's not who they thought they were, are immediately kind of like crushed and almost shattered in a way. And the other half of the time, they'll they'll take a beating from their hero, and then they'll be kind of crushed and shattered. This kind of sort of like goes a little bit more into like the second version of things, but he's not crushed and shattered by it. He's disappointed in the person, from what
Right.
I can tell. He's not. disenfranchised within himself because his hero is not who he thought that they were.
Right.
Yeah.
It doesn't like shake his personal confidence in his ability to play the
Yes.
game at a
Yeah.
high level.
Yeah. So I appreciate
So
that
yeah,
they
that was
did
cool.
did it that way in this movie.
Right, right. He doesn't like have that weird tunnel vision. Oh no, it's like that whole
Mhm.
disoriented
Mhm.
kind of
Mhm.
trope. Oh, I'm so
Mhm.
disillusioned. Oh, I've lost,
Yeah. So I can't
like
actually do
F1.
it. I can't do this.
It's
Um.
like that scene in F1 where like, oh, we can't use the car that we designed. And so then he's in Vegas and he's like gets mad and ends up crashing the car, ends up in the hospital because he was mad. You know what I mean?
You
He didn't
and
do it.
you and Keep It Real had the same thought. He said it's like the F1 movie with Brad Pitt and the racing movie. Yep.
Yep.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And he said Rudy's one of my favorite films. Yeah, it's quite
Mhm.
good. It's a
Mhm.
class. It's a '90s classic. You gotta see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's got a bunch of other people in there too. It's got what's his name? A very young Vin not Vin Diesel. Um who Wedding Crashers guy.
Oh yeah, Vince Vaughn.
Yes, Vince Vaughn, a very young
Mhm.
Vince Vaughn.
Mm. Mhm.
So and so there's some there's a bunch of other people. Uh yeah. Um but yeah, I mean this movie, yeah. So I mean, I
That'll
would
be of the
say
things I say that I'll like notably like.
yeah.
If you want to go on and say any more, otherwise we can go to negative.
Yeah, yeah, we can go negative. But I would say just the general creativity and the execution of like the games. Like once we got into the actual games and more when it's more than just a montage, but like when they're actually playing, I actually
Mhm.
like it. I feel like the suspense and the tension goes up in a way that works for the film.
Mhm.
And when each player is playing to their strengths, like the giraffe is really long, you can do stuff, and the
Mhm.
ostrich is really fast. Like
Mhm.
and she's not dunking necessarily, but
Mhm.
she's laying up. She's like everyone's not doing the exact same thing.
Yes.
I think
Yeah.
there was a lot of play mechanics into that
Yeah. Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
thought,
That's very intentional, and they kept it
and I think
consistent.
I, that's a highlight of the movie for me.
Mm. Mhm.
And how does this little goat, a little or a medium, whatever the term they had for him, how does he play against these gigantic creatures, these
Mhm.
big giant
Mhm.
animals?
Mhm.
He has to find a way, and so on and so forth. Like
Mhm.
I'm cool with all that stuff. I like that kind of stuff. I like.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
that movie tapped into it just enough for me to be like, oh, okay, I'm enjoying
Mhm.
this
Mhm.
in the different in the ice level or in the lava level. It's like, and the fact that they just all take it as a given that that's like basketball. You might have to climb up a hill and avoid lava, and a
Mhm. Mhm.
stalactite might fall from this. Like, okay, hey, listen, that's a world I can. If that's normal, you guys accept it as a given. Okay, okay, this is interesting world. I can rock with it. Let's
Mhm.
see what happens.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, it's a
so
little bit
yeah,
of
I
what
mean,
we got from oh yeah, you still haven't watched it. Elemental. There's some sports stuff that happens in that movie. Yeah.
yeah. So that's kind of how I feel about that. That would be my biggest positive.
Mm.
Um,
Mhm.
yeah. So I mean, beyond that, I think we can get into the negatives.
Sure. All right.
Go ahead and start. I'm give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah.
Go ahead, but keep going. I'll be right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So as I stated earlier on, the first negative for me is, guys, look, I know you're trying to write off the coolness and interest of Into the Spider Verse, Across the Spider Verse. You don't need to do the low frame rate, low like stuttery animation technique for every project if it has a slight reference to anything, you know, frankly, within like black culture. Like, I'm just gonna say it the way it is. Like, it's not. They don't need to go hand in hand. It doesn't need to be that way. With Spider Verse, it it made sense because Miles had not risen to, like, I mean, he's a different type of Spider Man. He's different character, different personality. His worldview is different, and he is learning how to be Spider-Man in his own sense. I mean, they were intentional about lower frame rate with Miles, and then Peter Parker had a higher frame rate, and like as Miles levels up, like they wind up changing the frame rate even. So I get it. The aesthetic is eye catching, is cool, but it doesn't work for every last thing. Now that said, it's like this is how it goes. Even with like 3D movies, it winds up being most obvious in the first like third of the movie, and then your mind can kind of like get accustomed to it. But it's like a mental hurdle that your mind doesn't need to go through. You don't need to do it, and it doesn't need to hurt like the dynamics of your animation. Um, yeah,
Yeah, let the Spider-Verse be the Spider-Verse. Every
yeah.
movie doesn't have to be an extension of the Spider-Verse visual aesthetic. It's actually
Hmm.
a disservice to the Spider-Verse because every movie looks like it, then the Spider-Verse doesn't look aesthetically unique anymore.
Yeah,
You're just
yeah.
diluting that effect
Hmm.
for films that don't need it.
Yeah. Now, I could tell that there were animators just from the animation itself that had worked on Spider Verse, that had worked on K-pop Demon Hunters, and worked on this film. But I think it's much better when the films have their own unique execution to it. Like at the very least, like man, at least they didn't like break out into song and sing while they're doing combat. Trying to ride the coattails at the last minute of Demon Hunters or something. Because it wouldn't have made sense. But yeah, aesthetic choice that honestly, let's be frank. With Spider Verse, when we all saw that first trailer, we were like, "Oh, this might be a little concerning," and then it wound up working for the movie. For a lot of people, it doesn't work for the movie. Still, it's an effect that doesn't work most of the time, and is like a barrier to the audience's enjoyment. Um, and like,
It's
man, these
like they're trying
animators
to
are
do
putting in
like
so much
stop
time and so much
motion.
work. Yeah.
It's like they're trying to do this weird stop motion thing, even though it's 3D. And it's just like, no, this doesn't have to have like aesthetic similarities to Wallace and Gromit. Like stop doing like no, it's like let it be let Wallace. I mean, again, I'm sure they had nothing to do with each other, but like like the stop
Mm,
motion thing. But
mm,
this is just like a better version of that,
yeah.
which would look
No,
good if it was
it's
like
not.
actual stop motion. But this
Yeah.
isn't stop motion at all. This is just computer animation, and you're just putting this just stutter motion kind of skin on it when it doesn't need to be on there.
Hmm.
It's like putting a skin on your smartphone or something like that. Like it doesn't have to be there. You can always remove it. You can just have regular animation. It can look like Zootopia. It can look like whatever. It can look like Shrek or fill in the blank.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I had a feeling that like they might do something like this when you look at the poster from the
Yeah.
people, from the producers of the Spider Verse and K-pop Demon. I don't think it served K-pop Demon Hunters well either. The that choppy motion thing. I
It didn't use it as much, but it still it was it was in there sometimes. It doesn't work for it. Um.
no.
Yeah.
It's like again this whole idea that we're gonna use the same frame rates and do the same thing as 2D animation. Like to me, that's when this is the end result. That approach and that philosophy becomes misguided because 2D animation plays by different rules than 3D animation. 2D animation has an X and a Y axis, right? 3D animation has an X, Y, a Z axis, and you have to account for that. Unless you just want it to, now if you're doing it stylistically like they did in Spider Verse, okay, that's fine. You get used to it. But yeah, I was like, this is not necessary, and it's taking me out of the movie. So
Yeah. That's the problem. Yeah.
going,
But it's difficult for I think studios to come to that understanding when you have something make so much money. They just, I guess, assume every element of what that project did as far as making money is, it needs to be done over again. So I don't know how to like communicate to them to stop something like that. Hey, Shinobi121 told us. I thought it was interesting that main attraction let Will help pick him up after the last game. I thought he
I
declined
did
because of his
too.
prime. I understand. I understand. I
I
agree.
had the same thought.
Yeah. Like
I
like
had the same thought.
let's be honest. Did main attraction learn something during the match that like caused him to be able to put his pride to the side? Like, did you feel
Yeah.
that? Did you feel that?
No, I thought he was gonna like kick him in the in the kick him center mass and like get a technical or something. Although in this case it wouldn't have mattered because it was the end of the game. But yeah, or he was gonna get a technical for what he did to Jet. But
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't know. We can kind of get into that when we get into the negatives because I do have some
Sure,
things to say
sure.
about kind of like the plot and how things developed.
We actually are in the negatives right now, so yeah.
Oh, that's right. You
If you
started
want,
it.
if you
That's
want to
right.
talk about it right now, like
Okay.
go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, hang on. Bang my foot.
Oh no!
Oh,
Oh no!
oh, oh. Okay.
So,
I'll just
yeah,
talk through the
yeah.
pain.
Something else. Oh,
Um,
you want to go? Okay.
yeah. So, okay. Uh, I would say my biggest gripe with the plot and with the writing would be the whole scene where Jet gets brought in to the boss's office and she announces that she sold the team
Hmm.
just as they were beginning to win. Now, the reasons why she sold it, okay, fine. If it wasn't one reason, it'll be another. But the weird transition, and then Will was he overheard that, and then they're like, "Oh, don't tell them until after the game." Why that was even like a thing that was like, what difference does it make? Like I probably wouldn't tell them until after the game too. Like that wasn't like not lying in any real sense. The fact that that was like a source of conflict was just like a weird thing. It's like, all right, that shouldn't be a point of contention the way that they're making it out to be.
Mm-hmm.
So that was weird.
Mm-hmm.
And then um did Will spill the beans on that like during the halftime or whatever? Or was it
Say that
just
once
after the
more.
game? Because then Jet got really like hyper focused and like she kind of went berserker
Yeah,
mode.
she took over. Was that when she took over the game and like scored a million points, just like jumping off
Yeah,
of
yeah,
people and
yeah.
everything?
And
Like,
was stealing the ball from everybody and like,
mm,
making it all about herself.
mm-hmm.
Again, that seemed kind of flimsy and weak to me too. And then like at the end of it, like they win, but then they're all sad. And then she has to go to apologize to them, which I kind of get because she like, she was making it all about herself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But like,
This is the cookie cutter element, showing its face. They need to have the all is lost moment. Like everybody's gone to their own lives. Oh no,
yeah, but
we're
like it's just
disenfranchised.
like
Yeah.
but it's like I kind of get it, but like they just won, so they still have another game, and
Hmm.
but they're all just gonna leave now because the team got sold.
That does not
Uh,
exactly make any sense. Like
yeah, like
I'm not
and
sure
then like
what team like disperses because they're sold like to another owner. Yeah.
yeah, that whole like that whole plot contrivance construction. I don't know what the right
Hmm.
word is,
Hmm.
but it's just like the process of events, and then I understand them being upset that she didn't play as a team. Okay, she did get them the W. Like,
That's true.
okay.
That's true. That's what that's
It'd be
kind of
one thing if her playing that way
MJ's
caused them to
situation, right?
lose.
Uh huh.
It would be one thing if her doing that caused them to lose. But at this
Yeah.
point in the movie, they weren't going to lose anyway because they were going to go to the championship and fight with
Hmm.
the horse guy,
Main
right?
attraction. Yeah.
Main attraction.
Ultra main.
So like the
Yeah.
fact that like like oh we're all sad and oh I guess we're all broken up and it was just weird because then they ended up having to come together. It's like that whole thing is just like it didn't make sense. That it didn't make sense. So that was probably the
But you
worst
mean to tell
thing.
me, what was it, Larry the rhinoceros, or whatever his name was? You tell me like going to his house and seeing that he's being, destroyed by his children, like is not the most
Yeah,
compelling moment?
this is an instance of like just bad pacing,
Archie
right?
rhinoceros, yeah.
Yeah, because then like they have to like do this weird montage of what everybody's doing. The ostrich sticking her head in the sand, in the head in the sand kind of thing. I mean, like, they're just all happy when they all show up. "Oh, we're gonna play again." Like, you're on the schedule. Like, it's weird. Just that whole construction was just it didn't make
Yeah,
any
yeah.
sense.
It's true, it's
There's
true,
nothing
and
in the
yeah,
whole speech. "I'm sorry, in my past, I was insecure." It's like, okay, but like, how is that like just different than just being a person? Like
yeah,
I thought there
yeah.
was like she knew. I thought that the warthog had some like real actual dirt on her.
Mm.
She didn't. You know. It was
No,
just they just
yeah,
like, why does this warthog have all this leverage on the star player? Like, I thought there was some deep dark secret, but no, not
mm,
really.
mm.
It was very flimsily, clumsily
It's
weak.
not it's not good.
It didn't make sense. It didn't come together well.
It doesn't specifically, but yeah, it's just it needs to happen in the story kind of a thing.
Yeah,
Doesn't mean that the writing around it for it was good, which I guess
yeah,
connects to that for me. The like antagonists the of the film and kind of like them trying to do an almost twist that like it's Flo with selling the company, selling the team, but then no, it's Ultraman kind of like yeah, super weak. Super weak villain antagonist situation in this movie. Uh not great. Not great in any way, shape, or form.
yeah. And then at the very end, like the Komodo dragon, Moto,
Moto.
like he wins the team back in a high stakes Uno game. Uh, uh, okay, so his
That's
character in
one more
general,
thing. Moto fell flat for me on almost every level.
yeah, you really fell flat. It felt like an exaggerated version of Bob from The Lion King, the hyena.
Mm, sure.
Like
Yeah.
he kind of felt like an exaggerated version that spoke
Yeah.
a little bit more. They were trying to make him
Mhm.
weird and quirky, but it
Mhm.
just like whatever. I
You mean you weren't
the weird
digging
face
like
expression.
his whole egg thing that he would do like every time like
Yeah,
uh
what is happening right now?
this Fabergé
Just
egg that
poorly.
he's got, yeah. Uh-huh.
This is just
Whatever it
poorly
is.
written. Like I don't
You know, look, I will give them
alt humor.
they took a swing at something, but I will tell them that they failed in it. For me, that said, they're hoping it's going to work for the kids. So it very well might be the kids' most favorite thing in the movie. They might be seeing this week every kid on the playground acting like they got an egg above their head or something
No,
like
they're
that.
not.
You know.
No, no, they're not.
I
No,
don't
they're
think
not.
so either. I don't think so
They're
either.
gonna go right back to talking about K-pop demon hunters,
You know, they
and
probably
that's not.
will.
Listen, I'm not even saying that's any better. But like, yeah, like it's just like a weird character that like there's no real payoff to his weirdness. He's just kind of weird and like yeah, I don't know. I didn't care. I was in the theater. I didn't hear the kids laughing at this. Like it really fell flat. It
Mhm.
just makes me think our kids movies have fallen since like we were like when we were kids, like even like the golden age of like Disney movies.
Mhm.
Little
Mhm.
Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin,
Aladdin.
Lion,
Mhm.
right? Those
Mhm.
four, right?
Specifically, yeah.
Yeah, like that. There was an incredible like decade run of these movies, right?
Mhm.
Decade. No, they came out every year, so like a good 4 to 5 year run.
Yeah.
If you want to throw Tarzan in there, okay. Eh,
It was falling off with
um,
like Hercules, although Mulan people really do like.
Mulan.
Um
I was kind of aging out right at Mulan.
yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Um
Mulan,
I did
Hercules.
enjoy Emperor's New Groove quite a bit. That personally was like what this movie was trying to do in some ways. Like
Yeah.
there was
So
virtually no script. They were just going at it, trying to do fun, crazy things.
yeah. So,
And
so
it
of the
worked
2D
mostly for
movies,
me.
the B tier would be Tarzan, uh, Hercules, Emperor's New Groove, which to me is kind of on the bottom of that B
What about
tier.
Hunchback of
And
Notre
there's
Dame? Would you put that in B or
Hunchback. Yeah.
C?
Oh yeah, Hunchback of Notre Dame. And well, there's another movie we just mentioned. It was Tarzan, Hunchback of Notre Dame,
Emperor's New
Emperor's
Groove
New
or Mulan?
Groove. Hercules, Mulan. So
Mulan's
like,
B tier for you?
yeah. Again, the golden the final four, like again, Little Mermaid, which I wasn't a fan of that movie particularly, but I did see it in the theaters, right? Um, Under the Sea, like it has
Yeah,
its classic songs,
yeah,
right?
yeah. It is the revival of Disney. Like
Yeah.
honestly,
Oh yeah, for sure. Little Mermaid,
Beauty and
Beauty
the
and the
Beast.
Beast,
Mm-hmm.
Aladdin,
Mm-hmm.
Lion
Lion
King.
King. Yeah.
Those four.
Mm-hmm.
Before
Mm-hmm.
before Beauty and the excuse me, before Little Mermaid, they had like Oliver and Company, which is a charming movie in its
Yeah.
own right.
Yeah.
But it's just not. That was still 80s. That was like 1987, or that's still 80s Disney.
Mm-hmm.
And 80s Disney was in a super weird place.
I personally like The Great Mouse Detective, but I know I'm in in a smaller category of people that like that movie.
Oh, the one with the golden eagle. That was that, that
Did it
was
have Golden Eagle? It's been so long that I've seen it
no.
that I
Is
really
it
only remember.
the mouse
No, oh,
detectives?
you're thinking
There's
of The Rescuers, maybe.
yes, the rescuer, 80s
Mm-hmm.
movie. That
Mm-hmm.
I actually found that quite charming. I really liked that movie as a
Yeah,
kid.
yeah, yeah.
With the big golden eagle and the guy
Mm-hmm.
was hunting it. Um, yeah, but that was a different
Black
era of
Cauldron
Disney.
was a dark, a very maybe their lowest point potentially.
Yeah, that was Don Bluth's baby, and because of the way that they kind of dropped the ball on the marketing and everything, and the executives kind of got in the way of that movie. He left and he made like All Dogs Go to Heaven. He made the Rats of Nim, and the Rats of Nim like the historical reference to the Nim bro. So Don Bluth made, Don Bluth, he made like the Knights. What was that one video game? Like the animated video game, the Knights Night, where you have to like time everything, otherwise like you die. It's like what it was like the arcade game, but it was like an animated
Mm.
cartoon. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's like
Yeah,
I know
that was all Don
Dragon's
Bluth.
Lair maybe.
Dragon's Lair, yes.
Yeah.
That was all Don Bluth. Don Bluth was an animator at Disney, and then he broke off and started making like American Tail and stuff like that. Five Goes West,
Mm-hmm.
fantastic movies, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, golden era. I think it kicked off with Little Mermaid because, like you said, that was like the revival of Disney animation. And then you had some other, and then you had a couple movies like during the B tier that I still thought were good, like Goofy movie,
Mulan.
amazing,
Goofy movie was yeah really
uh,
good.
amazing movie.
Mm-hmm.
They had some real winners in a couple areas.
Sure, sure.
Anyway, okay, so how do we get on this tangent? Uh, Animation.
So we were talking
Oh
about the
yeah,
quirkiness of was it Gino or
yeah, and the larger point that like kids
whatever
movies
his name
now aren't
was,
that good compared to what
Moto.
we had growing up. Like
Yeah.
we the movies we grew up with were like genre defining. This stuff is just like weird, quirky stuff because they couldn't think of anything else to do.
So okay,
Maybe that's harsh.
Shinobi pointed out that they like the iguana because they remind them of a wrestler, which is Mr. Iguana in WWE and AAA right now. Really,
Okay.
really fun character in AAA. I respect that, Shinobi. I respect that incredibly. He's a really, really fun, weird, quirky character in that. I don't think they were trying to do that reference, but if they were, you guys made a bigger, better movie than I even realized. Um, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not familiar. I'll take your word for it though.
Hmm.
I mean, if people enjoyed it, that's cool. Like, I'm not saying don't enjoy it. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like, as I'm watching, I'm
I
like,
like his
eh.
design. I like that he has that like single minded focus that they're able to like he's that character that's naturally gifted and amazing that they just need to find a quirky way to get him in on the action. It's very anime to be honest. Like someone that's like a complete airhead, but then they are able to like do like he's like Majin Buu in a way where it's like completely
Yeah, I
removed
can see
from
that.
any level of intelligence, but like in the right moment, in the right way, like they activate him and he just like
Yeah, in the right
dominates.
context,
Yeah.
in the right
Mm-hmm.
context, he's remarkably useful. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. So yeah. So you know, The movie's fine though. The movie's fine. Moto doesn't do any real damage to the movie overall. I just, I mean, I like watching him play.
Hmm.
Like when he's playing basketball, that's cool. But I like watching all of them play. That's like the highlight of the movie. Everything surrounding the actual playing of the game is kind of hit or miss. Some of the melodrama hits pretty well, like he's, the story with him and his mom and all that stuff. It's cool. It's fine. The whole diner as a set piece and as plot exposition, that's totally fine. I didn't have any issue with that.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, the world that they lived in was cool. His neighbors were all these little
Yeah.
hamsters, and he was paying rent. Like, okay, I'm
You
cool
know,
with that
look,
stuff.
that also I see them. I see them. They also are fans of Spider-Man 2. That is definitely a call out to Spider-Man 2, where the
Yeah,
slumlord landlord is calling for rent and everything like that, and then
yeah,
his family
yes,
loves
yes,
him. Yeah.
yes.
Hmm.
Yes, that's a good call. So yeah, this movie does have its call outs,
It
and
was, you know what? Look, there were a lot of jokes in this movie. A couple of the jokes did hit me. One moderately hit me where like he hears through the through the wall that the hamster's wife is like, I think I'm pregnant again, and then the slumber was like, Will, you need to pay that rent. Yeah, like right after.
yeah. Yeah,
Um,
and I actually do like that he actually does go back and like pay his rent, and he gives him some
yes,
tickets
yeah,
just as a character moment. I was like, oh, that's cool. I like
very
that.
much so,
I,
very much so. A
I
good
approve of that.
call.
In other words, he's a stand-up guy, and he was just down a hard
Hmm.
time. Now he
Hmm.
was working like DoorDash delivery or whatever. Um,
Something
there's
like
there's
that.
there's an actual DoorDash tie-in to this movie, so I'm just gonna say DoorDash. Um, apparently DoorDash delivers sneakers now or something. There's a commercial
Okay.
tie-in before the movie came on. They played it a few times. I'm like, okay, but he was like
Yeah, I
delivering
think
food
they're
stuff.
expanding beyond just food. I think they want to become
Yeah,
like, yeah, delivery of anything more or less. Well, hopefully not anything, but
right.
a lot of things.
Yeah. So I mean, again, there's a clear product tie-in with the commercial they played before the movie started.
Mhm.
A trend that
Mhm.
I'm not a fan of. You know, I don't need to
Yeah,
see a Google Pixel commercial before I watch.
yeah,
Killers of the Flower Moon or like whatever. It's like,
yeah, yeah.
uh, you
I
know.
would pretty much draw the line at there's a PS5 in it. It's a Sony movie, all right? Makes sense. Adds up.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like I'm fine. But do I want to see, Mountain Dew, DoorDash, uh, you know,
Right.
Trader Joe's show up or something like that show up?
Yeah.
Not really.
Like, like, listen, I don't know. It's just like normally I say like, yeah, I'm cool with capitalism, but you guys are pushing it like, uh, like you're just taking me just to like, I'm not going to the left necessarily. I'm not even necessarily on the right, but I'm like, all right, yeah, y'all are really pushing it, with like just okay, I get it, capitalism, I get it. Okay, fine. But with everything, like, oh gosh, now Sony is notorious for its product placement in all of its movies.
Yeah.
Super notorious. Every Spider-Man movie's got a Sony Trinitron screen. Like nobody has an iPhone
Yeah.
in
It's
the
always a
Sony
Sony
Spider-Verse.
Bravia. Yeah, I know, right? Yep.
Please, like, oh god, like,
Only green text messages, right?
oh my goodness. Yeah. So I mean, Sony's gonna Sony. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
Otherwise, this
Okay.
movie's fine.
Let me get to my bit. Maybe I don't know. I can't even say it. A moderate gripe that I have in the movie. Maybe
All
it's the
right.
biggest one. To be fair,
And
I think biggest is the antagonist situation being weak, but it is what it is. Maybe the second biggest is I kind of feel like Will is too capable. I don't. I wanted him to struggle more. Like to be honest, I'm a bit hypocritical in some ways by like pointing out Spider Man. Like he is the struggling within his finances, struggling, you know, trying to make it in his career, but it's not that long, honest. Like he's basically handed a major league position like just out of nowhere based off of that like one Instagram video, which is like maybe entirely possible. I don't know how if it works anywhere near that, but he okay, the first time we see him playing basketball, he misses one shot and it's like at the buzzer, right? And then he's like, "Oh, okay, let's just run it back for some odd reason, you know, we got to run back the clock." And then he makes the shot. I was hoping that that was going to somehow play into his performance at some point in time, but
I mean, it kind of does
honestly,
at the end, kind of.
does it does it really though? Like in what like how do you say that? In what way do you feel like it
I
does?
mean, he makes the buzzer shot at the end of the movie.
That's the thing though, he makes it. Like so he goes from like that's the one time he makes basically any mistake more or less, right? Like in the basketball arena.
He gets
He just
clobbered a
like
few times. I wouldn't call that
yeah,
necessarily a mistake, but
yeah, but it's
it's
like
he
okay.
hadn't yet overcome his adversity. Again,
I
there's
get it.
pacing issues with this movie, so that
Yeah.
like these things have to kind of be speed
Yeah.
runned.
Yeah. It's true. They
Yeah,
do speed through a lot of stuff, which they do, but they could just choose to write it different so that they didn't have to like waste so much time. Like they could streamline it in the writing process and not have to like take us through a million steps and like hand hold the character and make them virtually impervious to anything and everything. Like, look, he's told to us that like he's small and weak and like sure he goes up against rhinos and elephants and like giants that make it difficult for him, but like did it ever really make it difficult for him?
yeah.
Like
Oh yeah,
the
yeah, yeah. Go
so he
ahead.
go like it's okay. The first time he goes up against main attraction, he gets two shots on him, and then the movie just like hyper speeds main attraction getting like 3 points on him. What feels like in ten
Yeah, they didn't
seconds.
show that third point, by the way.
Uh, I, I don't know, man. I think they
But
did it
I mean,
so fast that
yeah, he wins. It doesn't really matter. He got it. They just didn't show it. But yeah, I mean, he
yeah, they
clearly
basically
beat him.
condense all his 3 points into like one one point. It felt like because they just like hyper
Yeah.
montaged it, and so like okay, but he lost in that moment because he was supposed to have difficulty against a defender, like a big, you know, main NBA level defender. I don't really feel like that happened. Like once he got there, he felt nervous at first, and he wasn't like sure of himself at first. But then he makes a shot, and then he's like good from that point to through the end of the movie. So it just didn't work. I mean, you can tell me he's small, but if he's small, but he makes every shot and opportunity that he needs to make, like it doesn't even matter. Um, Now it's like a different story. If like he's small, he's taking shots. His shots are all getting swatted. They're all getting grabbed. Like he's struggling in the moments where it matters. Like it just didn't feel that way. Ultimately for me, so I felt like okay, his only weakness is he's tiny, but it didn't matter. And then he went up against Ultraman and was dominated, but it kind of didn't matter anyways either. So yeah, that's my biggest gripe. He's too capable. He's got too much of the plot, you know, armor behind him.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. It didn't bother me as much as it bothered you, but I hear what you're saying. Um, like this is a kids movie, so like he kind of has to be that way. He can't have like that too protracted of a dark night of the soul, so to speak.
Oh
Because the movie's only
sure,
90
well,
minutes long.
you know, I definitely understand, but movies do this same thing in a better way. Like they have
Well,
like
sure.
their character have like performance for problems. Like they have in like How to Train Your Dragon. There's like failure of equipment. There's you know actually being like overwhelmed by you know by you know big dragons. There's not being in the
Y-
same spot with like Toothless mentally and you know like so they they accomplish it in a better way where it's like you feel the weakness of the character. And I thought that they were gonna do that and then lean on his like goat vision ability to then kind of help himself get around it, or not, or better yet, him and his relationship with Jet improves in such a way in which like they're able to as a duo and then as a team like be a unit that can make it happen. Like no one individually can make it happen on their own, which I know they kind of do obviously with the ending moment, but it just throughout the movie he felt like everything was going to go in the way that it needed to happen. Like all of his hardship more or less felt like it happened before the movie in that movie
Yeah.
in this movie.
Yeah, so to me, I write that up. I chalked it up to being a pacing issue because if you don't give enough time for things to develop somewhat organically or naturally, you know how much time, you know how long
All
this
right,
movie
keep it
has to
real.
be.
It was good. Yeah, thanks for chilling with us. Yeah,
Peace. Good to see you,
always
man.
happy
God
for you
bless
to come
you.
on. Yeah, God bless you too. Always happy for you to come on around.
Yeah, so I just chalked that stuff up to like pacing and you know, in order for those things to be solved, the movie would have to be a bit longer. And
Hmm.
if they were gonna keep it to 90 minutes, then yeah, some of the things are just gonna get sped through. He's just gonna have to be good enough to get, to carry these games through in the plot. Um, he can't have too many mistakes because there's just not enough time for him to learn, for him to have like a big learning arc. There's just not enough time.
Hmm.
So, um, yeah, I understand what you're saying, but I was just like, okay. It just didn't bother me, or I noticed it, but I was like,
Hmm. Hmm.
And again, like just because it's a Disney movie doesn't mean it can't be written well. So yeah, I mean, you can call out, and they could have figured this, they could have written this differently and figured it out differently, which is true. Um, but at the end of the day, I was like, this movie's 90 minutes long. It does have pacing issues, and I think this is one of the casualties of the pacing issues.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I
That's
think
just kind of
it's
my
also the main character is supposed to be the one that has the greatest struggle and like conflict in the movie.
but it was
Um,
Jet who had that struggle,
it was Jet, and that's why I'm saying she felt kind of like she was almost, in a way, a main
the
character.
main character.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Will getting a team is her dilemma. And it's not really Will's dilemma. It's his come up, but it's her dilemma. How does she deal with it? How does she solve for it? How does she lead her team to victory?
Yeah. I know it's supposed
And
to be
then,
like Will beating Ultraman, I guess. But he has to get there, and that's the very last game. It really felt like him making it, which he makes it in a heartbeat, and then it's almost never at risk. I thought they were even. Did they wind up saying that like, oh, Will, you're not going to get paid? Because I could have swore Flo at one time was like, oh, and we're not going to pay the sixth player. Like you're going to get somebody that we're not going to pay for free or something like that.
yeah, I thought she was going to do some funny business with the contract that he
Yeah.
didn't read. He just signed. I was
Hmm.
expecting that trope to show up, and it
Hmm.
didn't. So that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, the biggest scene I was like, like, it was a miss for me. Was the whole like commercial thing where
Mm,
Jet keeps getting mad about handing like they won one or two games. Like it didn't make sense. Like, the whole thing didn't make sense. I mean, it kind of
it
makes sense, but
doesn't.
it's just
It
like,
doesn't because then now they're like they kind of want they want Jet to act like he's the greatest of all time and he's a goat.
yeah, it's
Like
weird.
it's way too early for them to be like forcing that on Jet, and
Again,
it didn't make
this
sense.
comes down to pacing because they have a fixed amount of time to tell this story. Something like this had to happen. If it wasn't this, it would have to be something that would create an excuse for Will and Jet to have their moment, and she goes to the diner and tells her story, like just all that stuff that happened, which is cool stuff. But like, they
Mhm.
just found a weird way to do that. 'Cause that commercial thing was just kind of weird. Um,
Mhm.
and it just kind of seemed like a waste of time.
Yeah.
Like, why
In
are
the
we going?
streamlining of a story, that would have been taken out. They would have found a more economical and better way. But at the same time, I know they were like, "Oh no, but we got to capture the promos, section of NBA and like what it's like to be an NBA player."
Yeah, something like that. I think it would have been better if like the whoever just made the commercial based on footage or whatever, and it made it in such a way that like, oh, she's passing the throne to him, even though she didn't actually do that. And
Mhm,
then she sees it on TV and gets mad and storms off, and then they have to that would have made more
mhm,
sense.
mhm,
Instead rather
mhm,
than having them all like, because it wasn't funny. It wasn't the bit wasn't funny enough to justify the 2 or 3 minutes they spent doing setting this whole thing up.
mhm, mhm. Yeah,
The payoffs weren't there.
yeah.
So
Oh, you just touched
yeah.
on my second to last critique that I thought of. One, so this is more along the lines half of the time of like a Minions for me, where they're trying to get a joke out. Like it feels like every 5 seconds at least. For a good amount of the movie, not all the time. They do hold back. There's some sections in particular in which they feel like they're trying to go heavy in like getting a lot of jokes, trying to make like a lot of memeable moments, whether it's like faces and like character reactions or whatever it is. Um, that was a little much for me. And then the final thing I'll say is when it comes to like the basketball scenes, some of the action, even outside of the basketball scenes, I'm one that appreciates like seeing the action played out uh, more plainly, more overtly. I do like dynamic cameras. I do like foreshortening and using that incorporated in fun specific moments, but I felt like they leaned on it so much. Not only like camera movement constantly and doing like dynamic sort of foreshortening elements constantly throughout the film. It was a little much. A little much. I think once you do something too much, you lose the special quality of it. So I would have wanted it to happen in a more like seasoned salt kind of a way, to heighten moments in particular, and not just like make every moment feel like it was the most cool and special and highlightable moment. But it doesn't do that all the time, but it does it enough, a little bit too much for me. But that's just a personal preference kind of a thing.
Yeah, I will also know. I have two things to say. One of them is about again one of the trailers that I saw, so it's not connected to the movie. But my first thing is about the movie. I did see it in real 3D, and overall, I thought it was a good experience. Uh, I would recommend real 3D over IMAX 3D. That's just I just have had a better viewing experience that way.
Hmm.
But yeah, I would take off my glasses and I would see like, oh, they just the background, so like, the characters really pop forward. Um, I think they probably could have gone a little more extreme, like at the end of Zootopia 2, where it's just like, they probably could have done a little more. They could have gotten away with doing a little more of that. Um, but overall, the 3D effect was pretty good. Um, it really just kind of like separated the foreground and the background. That's kind of the bokeh effect. But overall, it wasn't overdone, so that's good. I've seen when they overdo it, it's like, but yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah,
Um,
I do think one of the fun moments for that was when Jet saw that Will was hired, and she like sped out of her place, jumped in her car, and her car like
yeah,
zoomed, stretched towards camera, and then kind
yeah,
of
yeah,
like, and then she drifted into the parking space. Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it was a cool effect. It wasn't a funny joke that she like took all the parking spots. Like, eh, not funny to me, but like that's
Mm-hmm.
fine.
Mm-hmm.
All right, the last thing I want to say, I think I pretty much said what I wanted to say about the movie.
Same. Yeah.
The last thing I'll say, and then this goes back to like the trailers. They had a trailer for a 3D animated movie of George Orwell's Animal Farm. And I saw that, I was like, oh dear God, George Orwell is literally rolling in his grave. Like I feel like this is like the exact thing he was. I don't. I only vaguely remember Animal Farm. Everybody's
Uh-huh.
equal. Every animal's equal, but some animals are more equal than others. It's a
Mm-hmm.
critique on capitalism, classism. Uh, it's
Was
a
it
critique. It's a
communism?
yeah, that too. I think.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, it's a critique on a couple isms or whatever.
Yeah.
But to just see it turned into like this kids movie, I'm like, something about this just seems really gross. It just seems contrary to everything that George Orwell probably stood for. I don't pretend to
Mm,
know much about George Orwell.
yeah.
I don't even think he was a man. He wasn't a conservative, and he wasn't. At least he wasn't even an American. Like I think he was from England, but and it was directed by Andy Serkis. I was like, oh no, I don't.
Oh
This
wow.
is this is really this is weird. This is why are we making a kids movie about animal? This is not really kids.
Is he trying to get
I
in
don't.
a little bit more directing practice before the hunt for Gollum?
Oh man, I don't. Is that a real thing?
Mm-hmm. Next Lord of the
Okay, I
Rings.
don't know. Animal Farm animated. So there was a 1954 Animal Farm animated movie. Oh, is that what it is? Uh, Animal Farm. Yeah. Oh, this was the animated drama film directed and produced by so and so and so and so, and funded in part by the CIA, which made changes to the original script. Uh, the novella Animal Farm by George Orwell features narration with the voices. Oh my gosh. The rights to film adaptations purchased from Orwell's widow, blah, blah, blah. Um, was approached by agents working at the Office of Policy Coordination, the branch of the CIA that dealt with the culture to combat communism. Uh, Despite being a box office flop, taking 15 years to generate a profit, the film became a staple in film in classrooms. Okay. All right. So there's a storied history about like Animal Farm and anti-communist propaganda. And now we have like a new Animal Farm. It's weird, bro. It's weird. Um, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? Um, it's weird. Um, yeah, a new CG animation adaptation of George Orwell's Animal Farm, directed by Andy Serkis and produced by Anaventure Imaginary. Oh, scheduled for theatrical. So it's going to come out in May. Do you want to watch this movie? I don't think I want to watch this movie. Um,
It's not on my list at the moment.
yeah, it's got like a bunch of celebrities. It's PG. Is PG rated. Um, yeah, man,
Look,
weird.
if
Weird
someone out
and
there
weird.
recommends it for X, Y, and Z reasons, may look into it.
Maybe.
I feel like there's a chance I may
Yeah.
have seen that older animated version. I don't know,
Yeah.
but okay, yeah. Hunt for Gollum, Lord of the Rings, Hunt for Gollum. That's yeah. That is, Andy Serkis will be directing that. He's directed a
Okay.
couple things at this point, I believe. But
Yeah. All right. Well, do you have anything else to say about Goat? Because we've taken so many rabbit trails. We've gone down so many different other things, talking about other things. The movie is okay. Just wait to watch it with your kids on streaming. That's all I gotta say about it.
yeah, it kind of feels like unless your kid's really excited about, or you're happy to take your kid to the theater to watch it, go at it. But otherwise, wait for it to show up in on streaming and be
Yeah.
prepared to just watch it in pieces. I think at that point, once your kid's watching it,
Yeah. The kids were largely, I mean, except for the kid that like was on the row ahead of me and like bumped my kid, bumped my chair as they were going down. And the one kid was coughing just a little bit in a couple scenes. Otherwise, the kids were moderately well behaved.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, they were in our theater as well, including my little one. She was pretty well behaved overall,
but yeah,
but
but nobody was laughing at Moto. Nobody was laughing at
mhm,
the Gila monster.
yeah, it's a cool film. It's fine. My audience though did clap at the end of this movie, so they did enjoy themselves.
I
So
think
you know,
the game and everything was fine.
mhm,
Yeah, it's okay. The whole social media aspect of it, it's fine.
mhm.
It's fine. It's a fine movie. I don't really have
Did
much
your
to say
audience
about it.
clap at the end of the film, like once trailers hit? Not trailers, credits
I don't
hit.
think so.
No.
I think all the parents are just trying to hurry up and get their kids out and gotta get them to the bathroom before they go to the car and
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
I think that's all they did. I stayed and watched the credits because the credits were in 3D. So it's like you take off your glasses and like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. So yeah, it's fine. I don't feel the need to ever watch this movie again. Apparently, it's making some good money, so that's good. Good
I'm
for
happy
Sony.
for the animation industry if that is the case, and I hope that
Yeah,
Sony takes it and puts it back into the people of the animation industry, and not the latest
yeah,
AI platform that they're trying to push.
yeah. So I don't know. That's that. But yeah, if there's nothing else, then ladies and gentlemen, this has been our review of Goat. I have been Austin.
I've been Josiah.
We are the Super Cinema Bros. Thank you for joining us. Please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you can be notified for all of our latest live stream movie reviews.
That's right.
I don't know what we're gonna watch next week. What's on the docket? Do we have
I
one
don't
on the
know. I
docket?
don't know.
If not, I would like to recommend
I knew you were
Dracula.
considering Dracula. Um, I think we were thinking of maybe what, like Redux, prop potentially. Um,
Is that this weekend?
let's see. There's something called Psycho Killer.
Something live, eat, breathe, don't die, something.
um,
Eat, love, pray, don't die. It's like some
Psycho Killer.
post-apocalyptic
Oh,
thing.
that's right. Yeah, yeah, I did see that trailers for that. I don't know, bro. I don't know. We're gonna take a look at it. Deep Sky. I'm not
Yeah.
sure what that is. Chase Atlantic, Lost in Heaven. I don't know what that is. It almost looks like it's almost looks like Sonic characters, but I know it definitely
Oh
can't.
yeah, yeah. I was going to ask you about that one 'cause I took a picture of the poster, the
No,
Chase Atlantic.
that looks like it's a rock concert. I don't know why their poster looks like that.
How to Train Your Dragon and Sonic the Hedgehog combined. That's what it
Kohoku.
looks like.
I'm not sure when that releases. Looks like there's a Japanese. Is this Japanese? Maybe.
Yeah, apparently Anderson
Midwinter
Paak made some
break.
K-pop movie.
Oh, did
Anderson
he?
Paak directed and stars in some
Yeah.
K-pop movie, which I'm not gonna watch in the theater more than likely, but I
Hmm.
might see it
Okay.
on streaming. I mean I was never really into K-pop to begin with. We talked about this on K-pop Demon Hunters,
Yeah. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I don't need to talk about it here. But yeah, we will find out which movie we're gonna watch, and we'll be back next Monday for another live stream movie review.
Yeah. We'll figure that one out.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in
If
that
you guys
case,
feel really passionately, I know Keep It Real was talking about Crime 101. That's a potential possibility. What we'll think about that. But yeah, thanks guys. We'll let you know through our Instagram what we wind up doing. Probably gonna take a quick look at the next few weeks in a little bit here. So,
yeah.
but yeah, man,
All right. In the
it's good
meantime,
talking.
may the Lord bless and keep you. May His light shine upon you. Um, may He give you peace. We will be back next week.
We
Until
will be.
then, have a blessed week yourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Take care of yourselves, and yeah, eat a quesadilla.
Man, do
And
that for sure. God bless you
yeah,
guys.
we'll catch you guys. Peace.
Peace.